The Dark Tower is the newest film adaptation of a Stephen King novel directed by Nikolaj Arcel, and this film stars Tom Taylor, Idris Elba, and Matthew McConaughey. And this film follows Jake, a young boy who's seeing visions of another world, and when he stumbles into this world and into the Gunslinger, he is thrown into a quest where he and the Gunslinger must kill the Man in Black. Now, I will be 100% honest in saying I have never read this book series. I didn't even hear about it until I heard about the film coming out. But the premise sounded awesome. I mean, this tower that connects all the Stephen King universes together, and how this gunslinger has to defend it from the Man in Black. That sounds incredible. But I was of two minds going into this film. On the one hand, it sounded like an awesome premise, and with 8 books they had a very rich mythology that they could draw upon. At the same time, it seemed like the studio was burying this film, and after seeing it, I don't know if I'm going to give it a positive or negative review, and at the end of this review, I don't know if I'm going to be able to recommend it or not. And look, that's not to say that there aren't any positives. I mean, all the acting from everybody in the film is top notch. This to me was a defining role for Idris Elba. He did so well as Roland, this old western gunslinger who was tasked with defending the tower. And the kid, Tom Taylor, who played Jake, this kid showed a ton of range when it came to his emotions. And he and Idris Elba played off of each other very well. And Matthew McConaughey continues to be fantastic in all these roles that he's been taking recently. His character in this was a little bit one-dimensional, which was kind of sad to see because I know that the Man in Black has been in multiple Stephen King stories. I know he is a very fleshed out and he is a very deep character, so it's kind of sad to see that he was very one-dimensional and not really given anything to do. But Matthew McConaughey did a great job in the role. CGI could have used a little work, but I mean, it was a lower budget film. I mean, I'd say the budget was around 50-60 million, so for that budget, it was fine. And the action was actually very well done. I had a blast during all the action scenes, and when those were going on, I couldn't tell you that I was bored, because I wasn't. Now, with all those positives out of the way, the big problem with this was the running time. I was very worried when they said that this movie was going to be 95 minutes long, including credits, so in reality about 87 minutes. The reason that worried me is because this is based off of 8 books. And yeah, obviously they don't take every single part of every single book and cram it into an 87-minute long movie. They take bits and pieces, but it's 8 books still. And what I was worried about with that is, would they have time to really explain anything? And they didn't. As someone who has never read the books, I was completely lost on what anything was. Some examples of things that they should have really kind of discussed and they never did is, where is the Dark Tower? How does it work? Who are the people working with the Man in Black? Who exactly is the Man in Black? This is one that they touch on, but not really heavily, but what's on the other side of this barrier that the tower is creating? What are some of the artifacts that we see Walter use? Who exactly is the Crimson King? Yes, I know that is a book reference. I know a little bit about the books, but not much. And seeing signs around these portals that say all hail the Crimson King, but not knowing who the Crimson King is, it really just kind of confused us. If they took an approach more like Star Wars, where they explained things that were relevant to what we were watching, but not everything when it came to the mythology and the history, that would have been fine. But they took the route of not really explaining anything. The only thing they explain is there's a tower, there's the gunslinger, there's the Man in Black, there's Jake and the gunslinger have to stop the Man in Black. That's all they really tell us. And it was kind of unfortunate because I know that mythology for this is deep, but I would have liked to have seen some more of these other universes. I would have liked to known where exactly the tower is. And yeah, I know Star Wars doesn't necessarily tell us what every single creature that we see is, but they do explain some of the more pertinent things that we need to know. And this film doesn't. So overall, would I recommend people seeing this film? If you go into the film like me, not having any connection to the source material whatsoever, yeah, I think you'll have a good time. I don't think somebody who knows the source material will really enjoy it. A couple of people that were in the theater with me who watched The Dark Tower were thoroughly disappointed with it, so you may want to stay away from this if you know anything about the source material. If you don't, you might have a good time. And I am gonna give it a positive review. I'm gonna give The Dark Tower a C+. And to the film's credit, I do want to see more of these characters. They were compelling enough for me to say, yeah, I'd like to see their next adventure. Just the story around them, I think it was a misfire to take bits and pieces from every novel and cram it into an 80-minute movie. Anyway, guys, did you see The Dark Tower, and what did you think? Comment below and let me know, and if you guys like this, you can like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.